are the creators of the Habits of Happiness morning routine, and we are making these videos specifically for you to be able to get a little bit more information about what we're doing and why happiness is important, and also about habits. We've got another 7 videos that continue on from this one, and that will be the 7 steps that we do. So, like to tell us a little bit about what happiness is?
Yeah, should we start with happiness? So it's called the Habits of Happiness. And when we're talking about happiness, we're not talking about just the momentary happiness of receiving gifts, but more the general positive feelings of ease and contentment, and being able to understand all of our emotions. And happiness is unique to each person. So it's really about understanding that and how we feel and our internal happiness. And to know that we can learn to become happier. That's also really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's a key point of this, is that often we think as happiness is just this emotion, but research, and especially in positive psychology, shows us that it has so many benefits when we cultivate happiness. And most of the things that we're using, there's lots of things that cover positive psychology and the science of happiness, but the 7 aspects that we have in the 7 steps all cover the positive emotions and how we can increase that and how we can help children to do it, because it's kind of showed how it can help children to benefit them in so many different ways, from managing how they behave in classrooms. And this is feedback from one of our teachers that have said they've managed their own emotions better, emotions with other people. Also, it helps them to get more clarity. It also helps with empathy as well. So there's so many different benefits from being able to cultivate more positive emotion and increase our happiness. It means that we become more resilient as humans. And if we can start that young, then it's always a great thing. And so why is it habits? Kind of touched on it a little bit about compounding effect and doing it on a daily basis. But the one thing about habits is that it's all about our subconscious. So it's something that we do without even thinking about it. And this is what we want for our children, to be able to do these routines and not really think about it, but have the positive effects of it. So we'll go through the 7 steps and let you understand a little bit about what each step is and how it works. And as I said, in the videos, we'll go into a little bit more depth for you. But we often associate habits with negative things like biting our nails or smoking or anything like that. But we're actually made up of hundreds and hundreds of little habits every single day, from the decisions that we make on which shoe we're going to put on first, to the way that we tie our laces, to even to the way that we fold our arms. And we either fold our arms this way, we consciously, or we don't. So there's hundreds of small habits that we do. And what research has shown is that the more that we become conscious of our habits, the more that we can change them. And the more that we do something, the more that the brain can just take it without even thinking about it. So one example is sometimes we will have a subconscious habit about how we may think about something, about whether or not we are capable of something, and it becomes habitual in the way that we think something. So if something stresses us about a situation, and it could be maths, it could be English, it could be sports, and we develop this habit of saying that in our internal dialogue that we just aren't good enough, this is too hard. It's okay for the first time, but if we keep saying this is where negative habitual habits, and that's not good for our bodies or our minds, and this is where our bodies can go into stress. So if we can teach the children early on, and we have tools for this in the steps, then it means that they have the tools to be able to navigate through this their whole life, instead of having to do it later on, is what a lot of adults and I have found that they've had to do. Vanessa's going to talk to you just about one key part, or two key parts actually, that we do during this, and the reasons why we do this. So she's going to be telling you about the breathing that we do, and then also why we close our eyes as well, because there are two key points that in every video you'll hear probably over and over.
Yeah.
We just wanted to explain it to you in the video.
Yes. So we don't have to explain every video, but just to make the children comfortable with closing their eyes, really, it's the understanding that when our eyes are open, we're receiving so much information from around us, that when we actually close our eyes, it helps for us to connect into our internal world and our body, and for our visualization and imagination to really be allowed to go for it. So, because we're going to ask for a lot of visualization, so it's a really good thing to close eyes, or sometimes if not comfortable with that, just to look down. And also each time we will be taking a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, and it's not necessarily about big deep breaths, it's more about it becoming regular, to bring our bodies into a state of calm, which is obviously useful for when we're wanting to visualize and create some positive emotions. So we just bring ourselves down with that breath.
That's right. Thank you, Vanessa. Yeah. And if you have any questions at all about any of it, you can email me at sam@thehabitsofhappinesscoaching.com, and I will be happy to answer your questions, and Vanessa will as well if you have any questions. So when it comes to the booklet, there is an explanation, just to go over it again, just in case you need it, on each step. There's also a box for you to tick. So we've done it in monthly sessions for you to make it easier, especially in this time, in case you can't get access to a printer and lots of pages. So what we've done is we have a grid where you just tick every single day, or your children tick every single day. And if they want to, they can write down the steps, or they can draw it. And we have a few pages at the back, blank pages, where they can also write and draw if they want to do it as well at any point. And then at the end of the week and the month, there's a little bit of a review on how they felt, if they want to draw or if they want to write, but there is no pressure on any of them. It's just some children like to write things and how they're feeling and journal about how it's going. Some children don't, so that's why we've left it optional for just to tick or for you to write it down. Now, one aspect is that it's quite good to write down probably the gratitude and your affirmation. It keeps it a little bit, but if they don't want to, there's no pressure. It's more about how they embody it and how they feel when they're doing it, because this is more about how they're feeling within themselves and how they change within themselves. It's more about that. Would you say that, Vanessa?
Yeah, definitely. It's to experience it.
Yeah, experiential,
yeah,
as we would like to call it, rather than it being up in your head and academic. It is more about shifting and then able to feel how it is. And it might take a few times, but so the booklet is there, but the main emphasis is on them, how they want to feel about it. And so if they want to write or draw a picture, they're more than welcome. There is enough space. But if they just want to tick the boxes and do it, then that's fine as well. So thank you for joining us, and we will
videos.
Yes, we will see you in the next video, and thank you again. And if you need anything again, just give us an email.